Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. And in today's video we are discussing again the chemistry based physical or the daily life mysteries answers. And in the last video we have looked into why the raindrops are spherical, while in today's video we got some other concept. And this is the whole concept. Like we have got today's question, that is water and mercury, why these both are having different shapes when they are put into a test tube or a flask. This, you can try this at your home or chemical lab. And you put water into the test tube, you will find that there would be a meniscus like this. Even though this is slight meniscus, you are maybe unable to see with your naked eyes. You can observe it with a microscope, there is a curving present, an inward concave meniscus. This covering is called as meniscus, while this is inward curving, and that is known as concave meniscus. While if you have, here we have got the water, and this thing happens, and same with do with mercury. What will happen is they will form a convex meniscus. Convex meniscus would be formed. If there is a clear change, you can see that this would form like this. How is this possible? How this thing would happen? Have you ever imagined this thing? There's uh, people do have confusion in this thing, why this thing got happened, why there is a concave and convex difference. So the reason is quite simple. You can say that water in water, I'm just telling you, in the last video we discussed the cohesive and the adhesive forces. If you haven't checked it out, do check them out. In the last video of the ministry we have talked the adhesive and cohesive forces over here. Yes, in the water we have talked about cohesive and adhesive. I have explained it to you guys, and we have discussed this mirror mystery. If you haven't checked that out, do check that out and you will get to know. And in water we have discussed that the adhesive forces are greater than the cohesive forces, and in the mercury we have got cohesive forces which are greater than the adhesive forces. This is a simple reason behind it. As I told you before, the attraction of the water is or any other liquid or something, attraction of water with any other surface is known as the adhesive force. And adhesive force is greater. Here you're gonna see uh, the the contact area between the flask and the water is still this level. And if you can see, the cohesive force is attraction inward into, or in between the molecules. This is just repelling the adhesive forces. Mercury is just repelling contact area. So how will it reduced? Now this is smaller. You can see that the contact area is smaller, and this is due to the geometrical structures. uh, you know Due to the cohesive forces, naturally it got convex meniscus to more stable, showing its cohesive properties and repelling the adhesive properties, while the water showed its adhesive properties repelling the cohesive properties. This was a simple fact behind it. Let's move forward, and you have got the second point, that is the capillary action. We can see that you will put a tube into a uh, test tube, or test tube into a flask or something, or bowl. Then you will find that the water will automatically, without any force, will starting moving out. What is the reason behind that? Again, the reason behind is this: adhesive forces greater than the cohesive forces. Now if you can see over here, this is a flask and this is another surface. This is not the water surface, this is another surface. So adhesive forces are greater than the cohesive forces, so the water gets attracted towards the surface of the test tube, and it starts going upwards. If you compare it, if you just put mercury in this bowl, and this thing will not happen, because the cohesive forces are more than the adhesive force in the mercury. While if you have uh, water into it, this will happen, of course, because you can just uh, carry out these experiments into chemistry lab and just verify whether some people may think that I'm just telling you lie. This is truth, and this is chemistry. And here we have got another point, that is uh, diffusion of the ink into the water. What's the reason behind it? uh, the pores of the tissue, or this is all because of the diffusion. uh, and hopefully in the next video we'll be taking out this topic, even though this is not that much complicated. We have discussed this topic before in our uh, you know the topics of diffusion, and why this is not happening that much fast, because diffusion rates matter. Like slowly this diffusion is a slow process. As the ink waters are dropped on this surface, they will just start you know, they will form a solution, and a homogeneous solution would be form of ink and water. And yes, this is the truth, like both are giving it some sort of, hopefully we are having a chapter named as uh, the solutions. In that we will particularly discuss this thing, and I will be coming back to this topic on that day and showing you what's the reason behind it. So these two theories or the concepts or the miracles or the mysteries have been clear to you guys, and meet you guys in the next video. If you like the video, do hit the like button, and till that, goodbye.